Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pooya and Liana Lounge for episode number 14. Limp Mike. Hope y'all are doing well. I am, of course, one half of your host, Pooya Zanvikili, ready once again. And with me is the one and only co-host.
Can you, Liana Boris, can you mute my mic so I can put my microphone back?
Yes, I can.
Because we tested all the audio issues because we heard.
Yeah, so your mic is muted. So we did test all the audio issues. We recorded like at least 15 minutes in 15 different recordings to make sure that the mics are no longer an issue, shouldn't be an issue. And sorry about that. Sorry about last week. But I want to say a huge thank you to y'all because, let me make sure I unmute you, because you still came through, checked it out, left your comments, and it sounds like it was a good, like that's the problem, is that we truly felt it was a great episode. And it was like, well, we can't not put this out. Okay, should we pause the podcast while you figure your shit out?
Yes, please. I did it.
Yeah, you know what? No editing room nonsense this time. Am I right? You know what's funny about that? You came in, Liana from the editing room. I just want to say that Pooya's mic, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Your mic also had issues.
No, I know, because I had only listened to maybe like the first, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes, and I saw it was repetitive, and I thought it was only the initial 2 to 3 minutes. It was only popping up in yours.
The spikes were only when I was speaking.
Exactly, but then I noticed. I also agree. I noticed it on mine, but I had already recorded the video, so I was just like, sorry, Pooya. I'm gonna blame your microphone.
Well, it's funny because I said the intro was episode number 13, and we're not cursed. And then after that, we just had audio issues the whole way through.
Do you think that's what it was?
Possible.
Oh my God, we got cursed by number 13. This is why some buildings don't have the 13th floor.
It was
because they'll have audio issues.
It was either the curse for the audio issues, or the listeners got the curse with the clickbait. Maybe we clickbaited. Maybe we got punished by the internet gods for clickbaiting.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Suckers.
You are not suckers.
Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, I mean, and it was funny because it came after me talking about how I don't like April Fool's Day pranks. And then we were like, psych, 3 days or what? Yeah, April 3rd. Let's do an April Fool's Day prank.
Yeah, what I've learned through this process is I don't like doing thumbnail face. I don't enjoy it because obviously there's a world where you make the perfect face organically while you're recording, like right now, that could be used. But more often than not, you want like an over-exaggerated reaction shot.
Yeah.
So it's just me after the pod being like, how about this? And I'm being the most extra version of myself for no reason.
I think it's fun. I like doing it.
Yeah.
You get to just make weird faces. And to be honest, I pretty much do that on a normal day-to-day basis anyway. So for me, it's like an opportunity to like do an activity that you normally don't get to do or shouldn't do, you know, because when you're, for example, I'll be sitting at my desk and being like making some weird face. And then my coworkers will walk by and be like, are you okay?
They're like, I can see the millions of views now.
I have plenty of photos that my coworkers have taken of me that are me making some face that is.
I have plenty of photos of you making face.
Yeah, exactly. I just give everything away. I have no poker face. There's nothing going on here. It's just whatever I think and feel is communicated outwards.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to ask you a question that I know the answer of. But for the purposes of illusion, how's your week been?
Oh my gosh. Where do we even begin? Okay, so last week on the pod, which by the way, feels at this moment in time
Months
like a
ago.
millennia ago.
We're talking about you getting like hit on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Catfish situation.
What a weird set of conversation circumstances. Now, the one thing we did talk about is how I had an interview with a woman who said that I look like a YouTube or a TikToker, which I was very flattered by. She thought I was pretty. Thank you very much. She hasn't seen me in person. She's only seen me on Zoom. So
she's right.
The face crack of the century when she sees me in person. But okay, so that developed into now a job offer, which I have accepted.
We're moving.
1,000 things are all happening. I had the interview on Monday. I had a second round interview on Thursday. 20 minutes after my second round interview, I got a call or a text from the woman who I interviewed with, who was saying, hey, do you have some time to hop on a call? And I was like, oh, I knew Oh my gosh, there's just so many things to say, and there's so many ways to say it, and all of these things are running through my head. So
Share as
I'm
much
going
of it
to
as you
stop.
want.
I know, but I'm trying to decide like the best order and how do I communicate it, and then like 10,000 other thoughts pop into my brain. I'm having this issue all over again. Let me give you the overall timeline. Overall timeline: interview Monday, second round Thursday, job offer Thursday, accepted job offer Friday, moving in 2 weeks, 3 weeks ish.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks. Starting new job in 2 weeks. And now, as I was reminded by one of my coworkers, like 9 days. I start a new job in 9 days. I didn't even know this job existed 7 days ago.
Yeah, your new job is in 9 days, and 9 days ago, this job wasn't a thing.
Yes, exactly. I didn't even know it existed. So this was the company that I had applied to for like a different position, and then they ended up having an opening, and so they interviewed me. And first round interview, I thought was actually quite clunky. I was not really impressed with myself, and so I didn't think that it would necessarily go anywhere because I was very surprised by the interview. So I didn't really have time to kind of collect my thoughts. I was running around doing 10,000 other things, but I did have
Liana.
time for the Thursday interview. And for the Thursday interview, I locked in. I dipped my face in cold water. I rubbed banana peel on my face. I did all of those things to lock in. I did 4 push-ups or whatever he does. He's canceled now. Is he canceled?
I don't think he's canceled. We're over him.
We're over him now. All right, we're past that. That trend is done.
By the way, for those of you that recognize me saying guy talk anytime anyone talks about locking in, Liana has no idea what that is because she doesn't watch White Lotus. So
I've seen you. Oh, it's not a White Lotus thing. This is locking in has been a thing for a while.
It's different. These are different. There's different.
Okay,
ones.
I'm using locked in the sense that like the alpha male Instagrammers use locked in.
That's ew.
No, it's like, man, I'm about to bust a sale today. I'm locked in.
Bust a sale.
Yeah, I don't know what they say.
I'm
They say
willing
stuff
to
like
bet
that.
money that's not what is said in these Instagrams.
We're waking up. We're having our tea.
Like the
we're
rise and grind
exercising.
people.
Yeah, we're rising. We're grinding. We're pounding. We're getting it done.
Okay, they're not having sex
No,
with
I
the
didn't
work.
say that either.
You busting, pounding.
I just assume they use a lot of that verbiage. I've only ever consumed content talking about that type of content. I've never actually been like a first source user of said.
It's like someone
TikTok.
stitching it and saying something about it.
Yeah, or someone doing like sort of an overview on that kind of culture because I love to learn.
Yeah, well, either way,
Okay, I was locked in.
Liana doesn't watch White Lotus at her.
So I was locked in. Well, I've been busy. So I was locked in.
You have not seen season 2 either, though.
So I've been busy for 2 years or whatever. I've been busy. Can we not chastise me for not having watched
I
White
didn't
Lotus
say
yet?
I just-
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get around to it at some point. Okay, like eventually we got around. It only took 3 years. We eventually got around to watching Severance. Eventually, I watched all those other shows that you tell me to watch.
I think part of me feels like if I didn't start watching Severance on the plane next to you, you would have not checked out Severance.
You brought it up to me for us to watch together, and I said, I'm down for us to watch it together as a Pooya Liana shared show. And then every time we would sit and watch something, then you would be like, oh no, I'm not really in the mood for Severance. Yes, huh?
It wasn't that I
Yes,
wasn't in
huh?
the mood for Severance. I wasn't, because
For like a serious new show.
with our living room situation. So let me paint the picture. In our living room, Liana doesn't like the lights on in the living room, which I understand. I typically will sit in the dark in my room. She likes like one of the smaller lights on in the corner, not the main like overhead
We're
lights.
not a big light I'm not a big light person.
Neither am I in my
Yeah.
room. The difference is in my room, I'm not sitting on a couch. I'm sitting on a chair, which means I'm not going to like get tired. But when we're on a comfy couch and we're watching a show, especially if we're binging a show, 2
Yeah.
episodes is like my ceiling, then I'm going to fall asleep.
See, I have high binge stamina for TV shows.
I do it on a computer.
Laying down on the couch, it doesn't matter. Ideally, horizontal would be my preferred way to watch something, so I can just lay completely flat.
Yeah.
But I can go for hours. I've got
Hours.
quite the. That's why I'm saying I usually wait and binge
Yeah.
shows. Okay, but that's not the point. Are
Yeah.
you done talking about White Lotus now?
All I said was the reference I'm making she doesn't get because she doesn't watch it, and then you were like, "Are you gonna chastise me?" I was like, "I wasn't chastising you."
So I was locked in. So it was Thursday. Thursday, second round interview.
You nailed it.
I nailed it. CEO, CFO, president of the cell line development division, the woman I'm going to be working with. They're all there. They're asking me questions. I'm crushing it. HR question. Pacha! Science question. Pia! I was like, I just felt like I was in the zone. I was like, okay, this is the person I know I am. This is the person I know I can be. This is like representing me in the way that I feel like this is who I am as a person. So I knew it went really well. So I felt incredibly optimistic about it. So when I got the text saying to hop into the call, I go, oh, this is the third round interview, right? Because usually it's like most companies, it's like an initial screen, second round interview, third round, like final round. So that's why I think it's going to be that they want to schedule this like final round interview with me, especially because I had other final round interviews coming up. So I told them about that, full transparency, so that they can know. They offered me that job on the spot, 20 minutes after my interview number two. I was shocked, but also I'm amazing. So, but also genuinely shocked. So I came home, I talked to my family, tried to process all of this information. Obviously, Pooya and I spent a long time talking it through. I didn't make a decision that night. I had another call with her the next day on Friday where I could ask more questions. But through the conversation, and I was already leaning towards taking the job up anyway.
You were like an 80% in, 20%
yeah, exactly.
out.
So then it was just, okay, some more things got confirmed for me that made me feel like wholeheartedly better about the situation.
It almost felt like all that call needed to do was not remove any percentages and you were in. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the other debate was because I had another interview that following week about whether or not I would have, like it would have been
Waited
this
it
Friday.
out.
Yeah. So would I have waited if they would have been okay with that? But it was too good to be true. It genuinely felt like this is, especially when I think about my long-term career goals, this is what I want.
It lined up.
It's going to, it lines up nicely. It's going to give me a lot of the skills that I need to work on and improve. And it's just a fantastic opportunity. So I'm so genuinely thrilled about it. I really, really can't.
I'm proud
wait.
of you. You did really well.
I know. I'm so excited. So now I gave me 2 weeks notice and am trying to like finish up everything. I mean, the plan was always for me to leave. So I had transitioned and trained students and things like that to take over stuff for me. Mm-hmm. But I think it was just the reality of that sinking in and realizing because I've been at Yale for 7 years. So I have 7 years of things to just close out and just make sure that like everything is there and done. And I'm the type of person that I want to leave things like neat, tidy with a bow for the next people. Like I don't want to leave a mess for the next person who's going to come, So I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to get all of that done. So we've been figuring out all of our stuff here to pack and move and find a new place and me finish up work stuff and all of that. So it's really been chaos. So when Pooya says it feels like months since we recorded the last pal, it's because it does genuinely feel like months.
Yeah. I mean, since you've confirmed taking the job, I have learned everything there is to know about where we're moving, which I don't think we've said yet. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Minnesota! Yeah. Minnesota! Yeah, we're going to Minnesota. Leave it to us to hold the meme so dearly.
Joseph Robinette Biden saying Minnesota.
The GIF is great.
I don't know why it just stuck with us.
So was before this job offer came along.
Oh, yeah. That was a meme for us before. I think that chilling in Cedar Rapids, there's a lot of really good political memes that you and I just sometimes
Please clap.
About. Please clap.
Yeah.
Pokemon go to the polls.
So that's happening.
Yeah.
And like Liana said, she's starting this job in less than 2 weeks.
Yes. So my official start date will be the 21st.
Which
I'm going to do. They were very kind in agreeing to let me do a week of remote so that we could essentially finish up everything here, get our stuff all packed up, sent off with the movers, and then we will drive that following weekend for me to start on the 28th in person officially. So the point being also is we're going to do our best. We are going to put out the POW.
It ain't changing.
The setting and the visuals especially may look a little bit different as we walk through this process.
Yeah, let's be honest. There's a world where we do not get our lovely brick wall taken off of the wall. We can't cut the bricks are gonna have to be in the moving truck. And if we can't lay the bricks back up fast enough, we can't have the brick back drop.
Yeah.
But that might mean you get a plain Jane background one week. Rest assured, the lounge vibes will still be the same.
Yeah. So we're going to bring most of the podcasting equipment stuff with us.
In the car.
But obviously the whole sort of like set chair kind of stuff, that's going to have to go with the mover. So we might be sitting on the floor for one of the pals. Who knows?
Incredible.
It's going to be an adventure. And I think, obviously I oscillate between excitement naturally and terrified. Like those are the two emotions, and there's kind of nothing in between, because it's, oh my gosh, I can't wait, I'm so excited, and that's like, oh my god, we have to like get all our stuff across the country.
See, what's funny is I also oscillate between the two feelings, but the fear isn't from the, oh my god, we have this little time to do the move. The fear is the unknown for me.
Yeah.
And I've talked to you about this a little bit, but really what it is what it is. And this I'm about to bring one part of it up. Okay. Did I sing during your segment? Did I get distracted while you were talking?
Sorry, my brain is ping-ponging all over the place. Okay, I'm gonna ball down.
I'm about to share like deep things from my soul. Oh, what it is, ho, what's up?
Yeah, okay, I'm listening.
No.
And I appreciate all of your sharing. Well, why are you pouting? Don't pout.
So what it is
I'm not saying it. I'm not singing. I'm not singing.
Like, for example, one of the things is I've never lived in non-East Coast time zone, but then it's stupid because it's only an hour difference. So it's not really that big of a deal.
Baby steps.
That being said, it's not that for me. It's that it's a brand new state. I typically, like, I'm someone who's breezy. You know, like I would say that people would say I'm easygoing. But when a bigger change like this happens, it's a little mortifying for me. I remember when I moved from Dubai to Canada, I was very nervous. I didn't know how I was going to be perceived. You know, it's a whole new continent, whole new world for me. How is this going to go? I've never heard of Ottawa either. I pull up, sure enough, amazing. Love it. Everything's good. Then moving here, I was like, oh my God, I know it's like similar in like cultural, but it's going to be different. I don't know what it's like. And like, I think the added difference was during the pandemic, like right as the pandemic was happening. So it was like a whole different world anyway. And now this, and obviously I've always said, well, wherever Liana goes, I'm going. Like wherever the job goes, I'm going. And then I had this moment of like, my life is also going to change. Like my job is staying the same.
Right.
We got this, we got streaming, we got podcasts. Like I'm the same. My day-to-day is going to be same, where I'm mostly at home, but it's a different environment, and I'm a little bit scared at what that feels like. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
It's funny to me because in thinking about your other moves, you moved across continents.
The world.
You moved across the world. Then you moved countries. Now you're just moving states. Like I mean, obviously I understand where your feelings are coming from. It's just funny to think about it if I put it in the context of the other moves, because it's like you did extra hard mode, then you did hard mode, now you're on medium mode because we're switching states. If we were to move like within the same city, it's like, okay, then that's like easy mode.
America is big. And this move is further distance than the last move for me.
Moving from Ottawa, yes, okay, that's true. Moving from Ottawa, so even though you were moving countries, Ottawa to Connecticut, distance-wise.
If I'm calculating drive hours, it's like 9 versus 18.
Yeah, right, so, exactly. So I understand that.
Yeah, but then I think the other part of it is, and this is a thing I think couples will understand, where an epiphany I had into our relationship was when we were long distance, we had a lived experience together, which was our like monthly trips to Montreal, where I would find an Airbnb, we would rent the Airbnb, we'd spend time there, we'd cook, we'd eat, we'd like hang out, do stuff, and then we moved in together, and I was like, oh, that's different, and it was an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment initially, then it became this bigger apartment. This could be a house.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I've never lived in a house with not like college roommates who are all just messy and no one takes care of any. Like I didn't even have responsibilities or think about being more clean or more caring towards who I'm living with. So I'm like, oh my God, that's new. I feel like this is like,
Wait.
what?
Was okay. No, keep going.
I feel like this is the most adult that I've felt or
Okay.
that I will feel. It's like, I'm in a house.
Yeah. Okay, but we're gonna keep it clean though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying is like, what I'm saying is when I lived in a house before, it was when I was peak, I don't care, but also none of the people around me care, so nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just college living. But then obviously now I have a different feeling and mindset to that stuff also.
Yeah. Okay.
So
good. We keep the whole house super clean.
I feel like you didn't listen to anything else I said. That's the only thing you retained of that.
No. I mean, obviously you've grown so much and changed so much since that experience, right? Because that was what, 10, 15 years ago? What was it?
Oh,
How
I
old
saw
are
a
us?
Facebook memory of that a time like that back.
Okay.
It was 2013,
Yeah, 2013.
which
That
was
what,
12 years ago. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is I saw a Facebook memory that was like last day of classes for my third year. Woo! And that was like the 7th. So yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's early to have your last day of classes.
because our exams start like soon after.
I know, but I think we went into May.
Oh, we did not. We would be done school mid to late April, depending on your exams. Like the last
gosh.
day of exams was like the 26th.
When did you start?
The semester?
Yeah.
September. Or you mean
No, January.
January?
When
like
in
January 3rd, 4th.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you started a little bit earlier than us.
Yeah, we didn't have like a big vacation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'd start then. Actually, is that right? Probably. Yeah. Well, when did you start? Mid-Jan?
Yeah, I think mid-January. We had like a month off, maybe.
Well, that's like a week difference, though. You had a month off.
I think so. I don't know. Again, the point is that was forever ago. And I also had that moment hit me when I was updating my resume and I was like, oh, I've been doing cell culture because that's like the skill I was marketing for 15 years. Like, oh my God. Anyway, so moments of reflection and realization, but I think, yeah, it is going to feel it's going to feel different initially, but humans are so good at adapting to a set point.
Set point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read a lot about Minnesota since we've looked at so many houses.
Yep.
Liana, tell them how good I am at the house hunting.
I don't understand it. Pooya somehow manages to find the best houses on Zillow. I just don't know how you do it. I swear, I'm looking up the exact same criteria with the exact same location, boundaries removed, and I'm not finding the houses that you're finding. I don't know how you do it. There's something in my criteria that has like excluded things unnecessarily.
You might have more criteria put on than I do because I will put as less as possible, and then I'll just look at all the listings, and then I'll be like, okay, this one says dogs, okay, not cats. All right, then no, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I would sift through it that way. But I don't know, I'm very good at it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what I was told.
Yes, it's impressive.
Thank
I
you.
don't know how to do it.
I'm an internet sleuth, you know?
Yeah. Big stalker vibes.
Okay. I feel like that is not accurate.
Yeah, so we're trying to find a place to live, so that's fun. And yeah, Pooya's read all the Reddit threads about
God.
Minnesota.
It's so interesting. So first of all, I think I might come out of driving retirement.
That I would be shocked.
I may not
but
have a
very
choice
happy.
in the matter, depending on where we
I would
live.
love that for you
but-
to drive.
But also, based on what I've heard, seems like the roads are big. And also the driving is a lot more chill, not as much traffic. So these are all pluses for me.
Yeah.
So that could happen. But also a lot of people on Reddit are complaining about how they can't make friends in Minnesota because everyone is so tightly knit with their family and friends they made in school growing up. And I'm like, okay, well, all my friends are online anyway right now, so I'll be fine. But someone made an observation that I thought was very interesting.
Okay.
They mentioned that, well, in the winter, no one's trying to leave the house, which I was
Cold.
like, that's relatable. I feel like a lot of people will not leave the house, and in the event they do, they've already planned an activity with their friends. Like, you know what I mean? But then the alternative is summer months or warm months, they're going to be doing the family vacation style things of like, oh, let's go to the lake this weekend or let's go to that this weekend. So
Yeah, but what would you do outside?
I mean,
what would you want?
who,
What would
me?
be, yeah, you specifically, what would like be your ideal in terms of, I don't know, like activities and meeting people and that kind of stuff?
I think so. To be clear, what I was saying was I was making an observation of how I understood why that was the case.
Oh, gotcha.
I wasn't saying that I want anything out
Sure.
of anything. You were not listening to me, I don't think.
No, you were just talking about how this is a pattern that you've noticed. But
Well,
then it didn't
based on
feel
what
like
I was
your-
reading. Based on what I was reading.
Yeah, but you did not. My understanding was that you did not impose your opinion. So that was why I asked your opinion on that pattern of behavior.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood what you were saying. Can you repeat it?
Yes. How do you feel about that being the case? That is how apparently the Minnesotans behave.
I understand it because it feels eerily similar to how it felt with like, I guess I was a kid though, but like when my mom and like us would go to like different places for the weekend or and stuff, it would be with other family members or other family friends. So it wasn't like we're like looking to meet other people and like mingle with other people. It was kind of like you stuck in your group.
Yeah.
So-
Well, the good news for us is we can hang out with our family because I have family in Minneapolis.
Which you found out about through
Well,
this
I
process.
knew that there was some family in Minnesota. I didn't know that they were in Minneapolis specifically. Like I knew that there were my dad's cousin, like at least one of them I knew lived in Grand Rapids, but I didn't realize how many of them were actually in the Minneapolis area. So that was the piece that was news to me. So yeah, and potentially one of our, I guess it would be my first cousin once removed. Which is
I Googled it.
my
This is your parents' cousin.
your parents' cousin
Or
in relation to you.
it's the child of your cousin. You can also describe the same way.
I thought the child of my cousin. Oh, but that makes sense because that's the opposite. Like it's just we're the grown up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like yeah. Okay.
I always thought. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me finish my thought. The point is that we might be living 12 minutes from one of my cousin once removed, your cousin-in-law once removed.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We did it.
Yeah. I always thought that the child of your cousin was your second cousin. That made sense to me.
I think it's so. Okay, my dad's cousin. Their children would be my second cousin. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Your dad's cousin's children.
Children, yes. So I think would be my second cousin.
Yeah. See, for me, in the Persian culture, it's very easy.
Is everybody just aunts, uncles, and
If
cousins?
you're about the age of my mom, you're an aunt or an uncle.
Yeah.
And then if you're around my age, we're cousins.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
I mean-
Let's move on.
because it's like, oh, it's Aunt Marby, right? Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, first cousin once removed, Martha.
Aunt once removed, carry the one, add the six.
Yeah,
How are
exactly.
you?
You're not going to mention that. You're just going to call them by their
No.
name.
Yeah.
Like humans.
As we do.
as one does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're right now trying to figure out all of that fun stuff. We locked in a mover today who was incredibly helpful. He brought his own printer. He brought a printer that didn't have to be plugged into the wall. It was just like a Bluetooth, like battery powered
Sick.
rechargeable printer. And he printed me the quote right there. I was like, wow,
Badass.
this is a man with a plan, man who's prepared.
Yeah, he seemed nice. I was doing
Yeah.
my notes for 90 when Liana and this guy walked in, and he seemed nice.
Yeah, I'll let them handle our stuff.
Take it,
Yeah.
please, and handle it with care. But mostly just you deal with it so I don't have to. Because I think the number one thing when we first moved here into this apartment, I was like, I'm dreading the day we move out because we have a small elevator, which, by the way, our elevator was not working when we moved in. So we had to lug everything up all the stairs. I was like, I don't want to do this on the way down. And the thing is, when we moved in initially, we didn't have half the furniture we have now.
Yeah.
We bought so much furniture in the last 4 years. Like, you bought like 2 things of shelving. I bought 2 things of shelving. I bought a new
see.
desk. I bought 2 new
so-
desks, actually.
Yeah, you bought 2 new desks.
No, one of the
you
desks I
one
brought
new
in
desk
from
you
the other
had.
place. Yeah.
That shelf, those are both new. That's new.
These
Actually,
chairs are new.
Well, the chairs are new. Yeah.
Our couch in the living room is new.
Yeah, the couch. Yeah, well, thankfully, because it's a long
Our bed
distance
frame.
move, they do it by weight. So it doesn't really matter like whether or not they have to take the stairs or the elevator. I was like,
Lovely.
all right, well, it's their problem.
Low key, listen.
I mean, we're paying for it.
He came into the building He came into our apartment. He saw the stairs and the elevator.
Yeah. He took
gave us
photos
a
with
quote.
his iPad.
He
He
gave
knows.
us a quote. Here's the money. So no take backsies. No take backsies. You got a problem? Take it up with the boss man.
Yeah.
Tell him to print you out a quote of your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. but
Okay.
Yeah. That's
that.
all right. So besides the move, what other things do you have going on?
No, that's the problem, right? And this is even we find between us. That's all we talk about.
Well, I had to
Institute a
enforce
rule.
a hard no more talking about it because it was like 2 nights ago, and Liana was like, all right, and this is the last bit of logistic,
Yep.
and then we don't have to talk about it anymore. I said,
Yep.
okay. And
Yep.
she laid that out. I was like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Then she followed me into the kitchen. I was getting my dinner together, and then everything else she talked about was this. And at one point, I had to be like, listen, you have to stop. Like, I know we're both excited, but we have other things going on that we can talk about.
Do we?
We should do. It's unhealthy.
Okay, so it's all right. So this will be our exercise, right? Hit me with it. What else is going on? What's up? What's up, bro? No cap.
I hated that.
Am I being cool?
No.
Because that's my chance to be cool, right? Because I'm going to be in a new place. So I have an opportunity to rebrand myself. Should I call myself something different? No, I already did the interview process. What if I called myself
Like at work?
Yeah, I could be like, what's a cool nickname? You know, like a Cher or a Lady Gaga or like some fun name. What about
Nerdo.
no, not nerdo.
Books with a Z.
Ooh, that's actually quite
What
good.
up, books?
What up, books? That's kind of cool. Or maybe I could be like a Lil something, like Lil Liana.
Nope. You do not have the mojo
I'm
to
just
carry
saying
that.
it's an opportunity to rebrand myself. And I'm really going to take advantage of this opportunity. I already bought 3 new pairs of shoes in preparation for this, which I know I shouldn't do. I should wait till we get there. But I really needed like nice looking shoes because things have just really fallen apart. Because I think I got comfortable. And so I was just like, I'm just going to wear leggings to work. I don't want to wear like nice pants. So now I have 5 pairs of the same shoes because I already own 2 from before.
Yeah, you really took the definition of if you like something, just buy more of it.
Oh, yeah. But you have that with t-shirts and hoodies.
Well, the thing is with t-shirts is I'm looking for a non-logo t-shirt in different colors that's relatively inexpensive but durable. And the ones I found were hitting it. Like they were perfect. So I was like, all right, let me get 2 more of these in like, and they come in a 2 packs. Let me get 2 purple. Let me get 2 this. So for sure, hoodies, it's a little bit different because I feel like at this point, a lot of my hoodies are more RHAP merch or my own merch. And I don't have a lot of hoodies I've bought from like third party or like elsewhere. But then I have a pair of shoes that I really liked I bought last year. And I went to buy them again because I got an email that said, hey, you have 1,000 points with us. And if you don't use it by this date, it's gone. And I was like, oh, shoot, I must have gotten this when I ordered on the shoes last year. So I went to redeem it. It's $10 off. I was like, perfect. I'll just buy these shoes.
Okay.
They don't have the exact same shoes anymore. They have it in white and they have it in tan, but they don't have it in the black shoes that I have. And I was like, you know what? I could do a tan. Why not? They have tan in size 16 and 17.
Yeah, so they're out of inventory. They're just not making them anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
But then they have the white shoe, but I was like, that's going to get dirty so quickly, and I don't care for that.
Okay, hear me out, though. White sneakers in suburbia. We'll get you some crew socks.
No.
Yes, the dad outfit is complete. You can be out there barbecuing. It's a hot one here today. I don't know what did the fish say when it ran into the wall? Damn. You know, you like throw out some dad jokes.
I don't think I'm there yet.
Okay, but just consider it as an opportunity. We're talking about me rebranding. This is also an opportunity for you to rebrand.
I mean, you don't need to. Why mess with the recipe when it's perfect?
Yes, of course. I 100% agree with you.
What was that?
No one is perfect. Literally nobody is perfect. And the fun part of life is trying to work and improve and be a better version of yourself, and you're constantly
Yeah,
facing
better
challenges,
version,
which are
sure.
opportunities to
Yeah.
grow.
To be clear, we're talking about aesthetic rebranding.
Oh, I see.
Like, you want to give yourself a weird nickname that you do not need. That I don't like. I'm perfect the way I am. Pooya's perfect. As a name, I feel like aesthetic. It fits me. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
This is like we're talking about like Pepsi switching up their logo when they did not need to. It's like, it was great.
Right.
Why'd you do it?
Because you're happy with it. So I think what I'm saying is I'm not happy with my
You're not happy with your brand?
No, I'm not happy with my brand. My brand has been on a rebrand for a while. Because remember, I went through all my clothes because my plan was and I've not, there's so many things. But now, fresh opportunity. Well, the problem is that I went to go buy pants. Remember, I had the whole pants issue with the crotch and the weird crotch, and it was just really difficult. But I think everybody gave me some really great advice, by the way, on the clothes. So I'm definitely going to take that into consideration to apply for my rebrand.
Okay.
Also, I have like 1,000 Yale sweatshirts that I'm not
I
able to
will
wear.
be buying some Yale sweatpants before we leave.
Why do you want to buy Yale sweatpants before we leave?
Because I want it's like a
memento.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you just get a tattoo like that guy from Memento, the movie Memento?
Never seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have one tattoo and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's test it. Talk about literally anything else.
I'm telling you, I can't. There is nothing else going on in my brain. Like, I recorded the B. Okay, so we recorded the B&B yesterday, right? For example.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about Survivor, and it's fine. But then in the back of my head, there's just this little voice that's like, hey, you're moving. Did you forget? You're moving. Why are you thinking about Survivor when you're moving? So it's very difficult to like shut that person down, shut that voice down, and focus on the here and now. Because that's the other thing too is there's only so much there's only so much planning and prepping that one can do before you're just like, okay, now I just need to actually take care of the things that are in front of me, like work. Like I'm still going to work and doing science at work.
You still have stuff to do.
I still have a ton of stuff to do work-wise. So all of that obviously is going on at the same time. It's just a matter of getting my brain to stay focused. I think the problem is that, of course, again, I'm excited. So it's like my brain would rather think about that. Not that Survivor and Drag Race and all of that aren't fun, right? Of course. It's like the new shiny plaything. You know what I mean? Like I want to play with my new toy.
Yeah.
Not that I don't dislike my old toys. I love my old toys and I want to keep them forever.
Okay. Well, I have a good ability in making other conversation happen.
Okay. Again, hit me with it.
All right. I want you to rank these 5 sports.
Oh, wow. Okay.
American football.
Okay.
Regular football.
Okay.
Basketball.
Okay.
Hockey.
Yep.
And baseball.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but we're moving to Minnesota. So, got to say hockey, number 1, baby.
Can I just say...
Moratorium. Yes, I agree. Fine.
You brought it on yourself.
I know. But it was a joke. It was a joke, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. Also, I knew it would annoy you, and that's funny to me. We're living in the moment. Okay, so I'm going to go based on... So, what's the criteria? Is the criteria what I like to watch? What I like to... play?
You can factor all of it in or one thing in. That's up to you completely.
I'm going to say to watch.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're choosing to rank them based on which one you'd rather watch.
That is correct.
Okay. I'll do the same after you do it.
Okay. American football, number 1. And then can you please repeat the list? Regular football, hockey, basketball.
Baseball.
And baseball. Okay. I'm going to anger some people, but baseball is last. Okay. Baseball for me is like a fun activity to go and do and like hang out and you get to do all the cheers and like I really like that and it's like pretty chill and usually it's like a warm sunny day and that's just like a very enjoyable experience. Okay. But actually watch, like if I were to watch it on TV, like I'm sorry.
I've watched exactly one baseball game before.
Okay.
And it was last year when the Mets were on the brink of going like into the World Series. Was that... Did they make it that far? I don't remember. But I remember Rob was excited and I watched it to like be like, Rob, yay. And then they lost and I didn't message him. I was like,
okay, that's not good. Yeah. We used to go when I was a kid over the summer and stuff. And like I remember going with like maybe school groups or I don't know. I remember going as a kid, and I remember having like a little Rockies bat because I lived in Colorado, so I had like a little Rockies bat, and that's like it's a memory for me. So unfortunately, yes, baseball is going to have to be last. Then this is a Liana vision problem.
Hockey.
But also like I really love watching lacrosse, and I also struggle sometimes to see the lacrosse ball. So that I would say like put that in the same. But
Hockey was a tough sport to watch if you were looking for, because like when we were in college, we were in university, we did not have access to cable.
Okay.
So we would find links online to watch, and unless that shit's HD, like you are not catching the puck. It's like you're watching pixels that are grainy, and it can be hard to spot. So that's fair.
Yeah.
But it is very exciting when the game's exciting.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Really
and again, it's another one that's really fun to go be in the arena and like experience it.
Okay.
So all sporting events live are very fun in my opinion.
No doubt. It's a fun activity to do. Whether you're into the sport or not, there's like good vibes there.
Yeah. Then I feel like regular football and basketball are almost polar opposites to me, because one is like extremely high scoring and one is like typically could be low scoring. So I think I am going to go. I think basketball sometimes gives me a lot of anxiety. I don't know why, because like they're just constantly scoring. I'm like, can we just like chill for a second? But I think I am going to rank third regular football, soccer, football, and then basketball, and then American football number one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my ranking, and I'm sticking to it until I rethink everything and actually change my rankings later in this podcast.
Okay. Well, we have a very similar bottom two. My baseball for me is also last place. Hockey is fourth. I mean, obviously baseball, like I mentioned, I've not really watched it all that much, but I've never found it to retain my interest. Even when, like, I think when we had cable back in Canada, and I'd see like the top 10 of the day style stuff with the sports. The baseball stuff was okay, but it also to me felt repetitive, and like, I didn't really find it appealing. So again, no offense taken. I'm not saying baseball sucks or anything. Hockey, I'm okay with it. I've watched some. I've been to a hockey game live. Vibes are good. I've also watched playoff hockey, which can be intense. But then we get to the three. Mm-hmm. American football's third for me. Not that I don't enjoy American football, just way too much commercial. There's way too much gaps in between, like watching. I think American sports as a whole, I feel that energy from, where it's like we watch for like 3 minutes, there's a timeout, 2-3 minutes now of commercial, and it's just like, man, it takes forever for this game to go. So I don't love that part.
There's someone on TikTok who I've seen that does a breakdown of the percentage of commercials and an actual like sporting television, and then actual like gameplay. It's really interesting, and they do these really cool little infographics. It's very fun. Yeah,
I mean, I've learned through many years of watching television that when a show has an hour runtime on TV, it's 42 minutes.
Yeah.
18 minutes of it is commercial. So
this is why I wait and binge it.
Right.
I don't want to watch commercials.
An hour and a half slot is 60 minutes flat, which is, again, all wild to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so for me, that goes third. I just feel like there's too much gap. Basketball is second. And basketball second because the action's always there. I feel like even if a team's getting like blown out, there's still good moves to see. There's still good highlight reels, good lobs, passes, steals, block. Like every move on a basketball court can be a highlight reel. A good steal, a great block, a poster, an alley-oop, a good lob. Like there's so much going there. Just stats also help. Like if someone shot like 8 threes in a row, like that's something to keep an eye on. There's a lot of moving parts, and I do enjoy that. And it's high scoring, so you're always going to get something out of it. Then it's football for me. Obviously, I think a bit of bias. I grew up with it, but there's something to be said about 2 45-minute halves, 15 minutes of break in between, and that's the only time you're going to see commercials.
You know,
so I like that.
I think the reason why I'm okay with commercials is because I'll usually be on like Reddit or it's like a social media.
Right.
So then while it's a commercial, it's like, oh, let me go check in with my friends online, these unknown people, and see what funny things they're saying that will make me laugh during the downtime. Like that's what I do. Like when, I mean, obviously Survivor's a little bit different because I'm taking notes typically for the B&B, but I will like go check the Reddit thread and see. And then there's always like some really funny comments that make me laugh that is like, oh, okay, let me take that as almost a break to go do that. So to me, it doesn't feel like as jarring to take breaks. I do the same thing with football. Like I'll go to the NFL, like the Reddit threads for whatever the game is and like see what fun things people are saying.
Well, now more than ever, like I feel like these were opinions I also held when I was younger, and now that I'm older, it's a little harder to hold on to them because truthfully, like watching Survivor on Wednesdays, those commercial breaks are when I'm on socials. I'm like seeing what everyone's talking about because I'm trying to like be present during the episode to watch it myself.
Yeah.
So the breaks are welcomed, but I also think it's very funny because with football now, regular football, they've started like before a lot of players would like if they're winning they start time wasting, flopping. They add all that time to extra time. So a lot like in the last World Cup there were games that went an extra 15 minutes at 90 minutes. It'd be like 105th minute because of how much time was wasted or injury or anything. So the games go longer, but then the commercials don't come around until like the active like points.
Can I tell you a story?
Yes.
It's sports related.
Okay.
Okay, so when I was in New Orleans, there was a woman who was in my lab she was part of the Zumba class. Okay. And it was this instructor. We were at this church. It was like through her church or something like that. And so we would go and do Zumba every week. Okay. We're like getting our little Zumba on. And then it turns out that the Pelicans, so the New Orleans Pelicans, the basketball team, they were getting different Zumba groups to come, like learn a routine all individually and then come and perform that routine for like the halftime show at a Pelicans game. And guess who got to perform at the halftime of a Pelicans game? This girl.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did Zumba. I don't even remember what song we did. Maybe something with it. Maybe Avicii is for some reason like sticking in my head. But anyway, so yeah, we like went down on the court and we performed. There were maybe 200 of us. And we all wore like black with little pink ribbons and stuff. And I think we maybe had matching t-shirts. I don't remember. I'll have to go see if I can find some pictures. But I just remember we all went. There was a bunch of us from lab who like went and we were doing the Zumba classes and then we were performing at the halftime show.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it was a really cool, fun memory.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I did my best white person dance down there on the court, baby. It was also just cool to see it from a different perspective because you're just like, wow, this is what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when we went close to the grounds when we went to see that Commanders game this year. And it was just like, this is so much, like, it's big, but also small. It's weird to describe. Like, it's not as big as you see it on TV, but it's definitely big enough that you're like, this is a lot of ground to cover.
I think it feels smaller down on the field, but then bigger when you look up at the stands, right? It's all about perspective. Yeah, that was wild. Okay, look, I'm going to say it. We're moving. But I think we have the opportunity to go to more sporting events because I think both you and I would enjoy like the actual act of going more than we like watching on TV.
Should we try and make it a goal?
Yeah.
To hit one of each of the teams. We catch a Minnesota Wild game.
Okay.
We catch is the baseball team Minnesota Twins?
Okay.
Maybe. We do that. And then we do the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then we do the Vikings.
Okay, the Vikings might be a little bit... We can see what the prices are for the Vikings. But we can definitely do the other three.
Yeah.
Okay, I lock it in.
Starting with baseball, because baseball season just began.
Perfect. Great. So I think let's do that. I think that's going to be really fun. And how about we have 1 year to do it?
Yes.
To go to one game of each. Okay, I'm committing to that now, and please someone remind us because I will forget that we decided to do this.
I won't forget.
Okay, good. So then you run point on this, okay?
Okay, someone remind us.
Pooya is the project manager.
Yay, I love tasks.
He loves responsibility.
Yeah, definitely a bit of me. Yeah, we'll see. I think that'll be fun. I'm pretty sure there's also a football, soccer team as well, so we can add that to the list. And I feel like if you're talking prices, I have a feeling soccer games are going to be more inexpensive too. But also depends where they're all played.
I mean, some of like nosebleed seats for like a baseball game is nothing.
Yeah, I think like football will be the most pricey,
will be the most
probably.
Expensive. Yes,
but also
absolutely will be.
I'm sure we can find some affordable tickets for a week that no one cares about.
Yeah, because we don't really care who they're playing. We're just gonna go to a game.
We're there for the experience.
Yeah, we're there for the experience. We're experiencing life, and then maybe we'll make some friends.
I don't know. I've heard conflicting things about this. So We'll
That's
see.
okay. We don't need
We'll
any more
see.
friends. I have so many friends. It's like really.
Okay.
I have like 3 friends. That's so many. I can't
So that's
even
the
like
thing,
keep track
right?
of all my friends.
I think some people are like that, where they're like, I have enough friends. Like, truly, I have enough.
Yeah.
I don't have the bandwidth for more.
Yes, exactly.
I never think about that when I'm engaging with people, and I'm like, I could be friends with this person. I'm like, there's always room for more, because when you're not responding to people, then like,
Yeah, of course you have the bandwidth.
sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to have like one local friend.
Just singular.
Yeah, like one. I think one would be sufficient. Potentially 2, but they would need to be friends as well. So we could do a group thing.
Do you like individual friends or do you like couple friends more? Because they're different dynamics.
I prefer individual friends.
Okay.
I very much prefer but I'm also like that in terms of I like to invest in like a singular relationship and spend time with that. But I've had some success with like a throuple kind of situation. Like a friend throuple.
Oh.
Like Joey, Jared, and I, like, we're a throuple. And I think that works quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think your mileage may vary, but I usually prefer a singular option.
I feel like when you have couple friends, typically, like in the perfect world, it's a dynamic where of the 2 parties, like you are friends with one of them, the other is friends with the other one,
Right.
at the very least, and they're close. So then naturally the 2 facing each other diagonally can also connect as well at some point. But then there's going to be situations where there's 4 of you, the both of you friends with this one, that one not really, and
That's
stuff
the
like
problem.
that.
I'm with you. The statistical likelihood that all of those pairings will work out can be difficult. Now, that being said, like obviously you're self-selecting as we select partners, the likelihood probably increases than just like 4 random people on the street.
I also don't think it counts for if you were friends with someone, then they start dating someone. I think that's a different thing.
So you're saying you make friends with a couple, they're
Outright.
a couple, we're a couple, and we
Outright.
make friends.
Outright,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, I see. So like a 2x1 Lego block situation. We're a 2x1 Lego block, and they're a 2x1 Lego block, and then we fuse together
Yes.
instead of each individual 1x1s.
Yes. Because I feel like that dynamic, like that's what I mean, is like you're meeting someone for the first time organically. There's a couple, and then there's an individual. So it sounds like you are more keen to meet and get to know an individual, which makes sense.
It's just a lot to keep up with. So I have to think about my relationship with you, my relationship with the friend, and then the relationship with a friend's couple friend. Like that's 3 relationships I have to manage all at one time.
Way, yeah, that sounds like stress.
It's overwhelming.
This is a chill hangout. We're having a coffee and getting to know 2 other people. It's not that deep.
Have you met me? Being chill is not exactly my MO.
Yeah, well,
I'm practicing. Okay, yes. I go back to opportunities of growth because no one's perfect.
you are rebranding.
I'm rebranding. That's Chiliana. Oh yeah.
Chiliana.
And I'm eating spicy food now, so because I did it that one time.
You did it that one time does not mean you're doing it. Every time I've been in the kitchen and Liana's eating, I'll go to my hot sauce shelf. I'm like, one of these? She's like, no.
I ate Takis the other day.
So fun. Liana bought Takis. We were at the store.
We were at the grocery store together.
And she was like, I want to try these. And I was like, okay, we'll see if there's a smaller one. Because I remember having them once and I was like, these are not for me. And she was like, they don't have them. I was like, oh, it was buy the big one. And she tried them. They did have an immediate spice. But then there was like a playful lime right after that offset that.
A playful lime.
I really liked them. And I was
Yeah,
like,
they were
oh my
very
God, I've been living a lie. Because let me tell you, I want more Takis. They were hidden.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Pooya and I went to the grocery store together, and that was also a very interesting experience to see which aisles you chose and what order we went to go in.
What?
Yeah, it was weird. You went in a weird order. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't mind it. It was more like an investigative experience because you were like, you walked in and then you were like, can we do the cat litter first? And I'm like, why would we do the cat litter first?
Because full disclosure, we were talking about what do we do for dinner. Because initially our plans were Saturday, we were going to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. And then Liana got this job and everything got very busy. Yeah. So we were like, nah, let's just put that aside. We did dinner on Friday. We went for dinner on Friday. Yeah, we did dinner on Friday. But then I had no dinner plans. Like I didn't have like stuff at home ready for dinner at that point. So I was like, what should we do? We kind of sat in the car a little bit and talked about like, oh, do we want to go to this restaurant, that restaurant? Ultimately, Liana was not that hungry. And I was like, well, I don't really want to go somewhere that you're not that hungry for. Also, she was like, I'll just get something to go. And I was like, well, a lot of these places, they ain't going to reheat well. So let's just not do that. I was like, you know what? Let's just go to the store. We'll see what they have. I might get like, they have like a fried chicken thing or a rotisserie chicken. Like we'll figure it out. And that's when you walk into our store, it's like the produce aisle and that stuff. So for me, I was like, let's go get the cat litter, which we were there for two things really, soda and cat litter. And I was like, the cat litter's on the other end of the store. Let's go there because I would like to end with getting the chicken because it'll stay warmer.
Yes. So
we go all the way there. And also, I genuinely do not think about like any of that when I'm at the store.
I know.
Like I'll walk through the produce aisle, go all the way to the back, pick up one thing of the cream cheese, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to get crackers. All right, I'll go all the way back to the second row.
Yeah.
And then I'll go all the way back there for meat.
Yeah.
It's
Look,
fun. We have fun.
We have fun. It's a choice that some of us make, and that's a very interesting choice. And it was fun to experience that because it had been a while since we had gone grocery shopping together.
I didn't realize I was getting silently judged.
I was not judged. I was not judged.
Yeah, you were not judged. I was judged.
I was not judging. I was simply observing. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, let's see how this goes. Because the thing is that just because I do something a certain way doesn't mean that that's the right way to do something.
Yeah.
So either I'm going to experience something new and realize, oh, these are things I can incorporate, or I can be reaffirmed in my decision to do things the way that I do them.
Yeah.
But upon hearing your explanation of hitting that rotisserie chicken last, that makes sense. I get that. Which he did eat the rotisserie chicken.
I did.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was okay. I had one of the wings.
Yeah. You mean a drumstick?
I had one of the drumsticks.
Yeah, rotisserie chicken and I have had a on and off. What? So what I'm trying to say is I've had many a rotisserie chicken from many a stores in my lifetime. And the reality is it's always way more exciting when you're buying it. And then why are you laughing at this?
No, continue.
No, I need to know why you're laughing.
No, I just, it's so funny because I'm sure I've talked about just like banal bullshit so many times on the pal. And it's just so funny to me to think that we're sitting here that like a thousand people are going to watch you talk about your relationship with the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of us have had this similar relationship where it's like, ooh, yeah, the protein is going to be juicy. And then you eat it and you're like,
it was moist.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
The piece you had was like.
How did you know that? You didn't eat the piece. I ate the piece. How would you know that my piece was moist?
I had the other drum.
Oh, I see. Well, no, I think look, dark meat is always I will usually pick dark meat anyway because it's a little bit more moist. But I think Costco has good rotisserie chicken, right?
Well,
is that
find
a thing?
out.
We've decided to become Costco guys. Boom! Is that what you do it? You boom! Boom! 5 big booms for Costco's. Boom! Am I doing it right?
You're so late to every trend.
I'm going to have a chicken bake. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
What's the cookie thing?
It's a chocolate chip
Okay,
cookie.
yeah.
Double
so
chocolate chip
this happened,
cookie.
what, like 2 years ago when the Costco guys got big?
I don't know how long ago it was, but I feel like we were talking about it even 6 months ago, but not anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
well, look,
we'll try it out.
We're going to try it out.
Listen,
we're going to be
all of that
Costco
to say is the minute we left the store with the chicken, I was like, I shouldn't have gotten this. I should have gotten something else. But it was okay. It was an okay meal.
Yeah, it's good lean protein
And
a salad pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I'm trying to eat up all the beans. Because I'm trying to eat up
I'm trying to eat all the beans.
I'm trying to eat up all the food we have in the house.
Yeah.
So my current mission, beans.
Are beans hot or not?
Oh, yeah, beans are hot. I'm a big bean gal. You know the dense bean salad lady?
No.
Okay. So there was a woman on TikTok who was like, we're going to make dense bean salads. And I mean, I am a big fan. I didn't even know that's what we were calling it, but I have been a dense bean salad lady for a while.
Okay.
I love a good bean. Right now I'm refried. Then I'll move on to the black beans. Because I don't want to move all that food. And I want to make sure it gets eaten. Plus, it's a good opportunity to clean out the pantry. Of beans. and other items. Because I was also able to... What? Why are you laughing?
If I keep looking at you, you'll keep going. You don't stop.
Well, but you're not... Because the whole point of the podcast, we can't just be silent. We can't just be sitting here staring at each other in silence. They're supposed to be talking, and I have more thoughts about the pantry.
Here's a little filibuster that you're like, and kidney beans.
Call me Cory Booker.
Black-eyed beans.
Black-eyed peas.
Yeah.
Chickpeas. Kidney beans.
All right. We get it.
Okay. I thought we were just listing beans.
No.
I got excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have food is weird right now. Like we are actively trying to eat stuff up that's in the house, which, like you've mentioned, it's both like we have stuff, but we also don't have stuff.
No, okay, so we have a lot of so for example, I have an entire bag of frozen edamame.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna eat. Don't try me. I might consider eating the entire bag of edamame by itself. But the thought process is like, okay, but the edamame I'm gonna use in a noodle salad, right? Or something like that. I just don't have those other ingredients, and I'm hesitant to buy those other ingredients. But I know, like, we still have time. Like, we still have 2 weeks before we move. Yes. So obviously we're going to need to eat those foods. So I'm just trying to make, so for example, the beans, I did buy some cheese and like tortillas to make quesadillas for the beans, or like little bean burritos or like something like that. So I am buying things to then eat them. And I also did buy some snack lettuce as well for my vegetables. So,
yes.
Yeah. Snack lettuce, more than meets the eye.
Snack lettuce. Shall I read a review?
Oh, yes.
We got a lot of reviews this week.
Oh my God. Which, by the way, thank you so much for leaving the reviews. Also, crap. Because I have to eat more food.
I mean, we could do other things. We don't have to do the thing we've said we would do.
No, I know, but we did promise it. So I'm happy to fulfill that promise. We could do sour. I think sour food could be a good opportunity. Although I really like my enamel. That's the other thing. While Pooya's looking up the review, I'm going to talk more about moving. Like I'm like trying to schedule all like doctors and appointments and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I have to find a new hairdresser. So I scheduled a haircut. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta get a haircut. So I'm trying to like do all of these things before we leave because I'm gonna have to reestablish. We have to find a new doctor. We have to find a new dentist. And I like really like our dentist. And like I'm gonna miss Robbie, our dental hygienist. So it's just, and I have to find a new Pilates studio, which don't worry, I already looked. I've already found my new Pilates studio. Well, I'm debating between two. It depends on where we end up living because I'm going to pick the one that's probably in between or like the closest. So anyway, we'll figure that out. Okay. I'm quiet now.
No, keep.
I'm done.
Just an update. Remember when I said we had that 1-star review?
Yes.
It's now a 5-star review.
Hey!
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, we were able to communicate through the camera. It was perfect.
Wow.
Okay. So there's plenty here. There's a lot of new ones.
Okay.
I'm going to have you pick a number between 1 through
6.
I was going to say 5. So.
Okay. 3.
Okay.
It's half of 6.
Okay, so this is a 5-star review from
Uh-oh.
This is a 5-star review from Nafafona Fafofo.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like
Nafafona Fafofo.
That's actually really fun to say.
Yeah, so Nafafona Fafofo gave us 5 stars and said, "I look forward to this every week." Is the title. I find that most, in quotes, couples podcasts, in brackets, besides Rob and Nicole's, tend to be kind of cringy and pretty boring, since the hosts tend to align on most things. Not these two, though. I love the banter, the teasing, the little feuds. Pooya and Liana are my favorite celebrity couple.
Hey.
That's us.
That's us.
Yeah. Is it a good thing that we don't see eye to eye on things?
Yes. So it's really funny because when way back in the day, this would have been like November of last year, when I was originally describing this idea to my mom and I was saying, hey, like, here's what we're thinking of doing. This is kind of like the hook of the podcast. And she goes, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think one of the things that's really interesting is because the two of you have very different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I think that is a little bit of a selling point because I think based on our experiences, who we are as people, like where we grew up, like all of those kinds of things shape how uniquely we view the world. I genuinely sometimes don't understand like how we work so well together, given the fact that we have so many differences. But it is shocking how well we go together, because I will say I have been like cleaning out stuff to pack. Sorry. I'm sorry. Because we're moving. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, just in case you didn't know.
Just in case you didn't know. I'm sorry. Okay. So anyway, I found some letters that we had written each other at the very, very beginning of our relationship. And I had sent you a little countdown calendar where each day you would like fold up the
very
day,
sweet.
and there would be like either a dad joke or you're amazing or you got this, almost there, like 10 more days. It was just like a cute little or sticker or something like that. And I was just like, oh, yeah. It was just nice to see reaffirmed, like, yeah, this is, like, wow. It's so weird. Okay, but maybe that's not what it's funny because that's not what I'm so sorry.
Nafa,
yes.
Nafafona fafofo.
Nafafona fafofo. Yes. That's not maybe what they're considering, all the lovey-dovey, like, cringy stuff, which.
Well, I think it's just like, oh yeah, we had a sandwich today. Oh, I like sandwiches. Oh, me too.
Is that really what couple podcasts are like?
I don't know. I don't check them out.
Yeah.
I exclusively, for me, couples podcasts are the Rob and Nicole podcast, which I enjoy that. This is definitely a must listen to every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun
I
dynamic.
think that, it's funny. The whole like opposites attract thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's true in many ways, right? Two puzzle pieces. One has the filler, one has the gap. They fit. Magnets, different poles, they fit.
Some science.
So
from Pooya. Look at you. You're learning.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue with your
tectonic
magnet.
plates bring each other up by engaging, and then it goes up. So there's that. So like, yeah, it makes sense. Even though there are moments where I'm like, how? Like,
I know.
How are we this different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It is weird.
Yeah.
It is definitely weird.
And it's weird because I feel like we have shared moments. Like we have things that we are very similar in or share a philosophy in. And then there's just stuff where we are wired differently.
Is it weird to say that we don't actually have that much in common?
No. Fun fact, this was like a couple of years ago. I had this like very sudden realization that like, if not for reality TV and RHAP, we would not have similar interests at all.
So Rob needs to keep this boat going so we can still be together. No. I think now it's transcended that, right?
Yes.
Where it's, okay, we're this couple in life and we're moving forward together.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that I think I have been able to learn so much as a consequence of being with you, and so I think that is also very beneficial. As
Give us some
who likes
examples.
to continue to grow. Well, so you choose to live your life in a particular way, and I get to sort of observe that process and the pros and cons of the choices that you make in life.
Tell us what you've learned.
No.
Tell us what you've learned.
No, so okay, so for example, you have a tendency to move without haste.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are very slow, and that is a very interesting way of living that is different than sort of my natural behavior. And I've been able to see the pros and cons of that kind of behavior and then be able to incorporate that. What are the pros? Mm-hmm. I think the pros are it gives you an opportunity to reflect before you immediately rush into something. You can sort of stop, think, before you're just like, go. I think it makes you appreciate those moments as you are pausing to have that reflective time. I think that's good. So those are the things that I want to incorporate into how I behave and make decisions, because I think that sometimes I will have a tendency to very hastily make a decision because I feel like I have to make a decision right away instead of, okay, even if I just take 24 hours, right? So for example, like the whole job situation, it was, of course, with haste that I did make the decision, but we had a ton of time to stop and think and go over it and like talk about it and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Or you're welcome. I don't know. But yeah, because I think one thing is for certain. The reason why I had this realization is because there was a little bit of time there where I felt like Liana was busy with other stuff and was starting to listen to podcasts less, was starting to watch reality TV shows that I was watching a lot less. And I was like, these were the things we bonded on. What are we going to, like, I don't, and like, I think that's on me a little bit because I had gotten used to watching them or enjoying them with you. That I was like, this feels weird. Why are we not doing this anymore? But like that now, I'm a lot more content because I'm like, I do what I do. I like what I like. So it's like fine.
Yeah.
But initially it felt like, and I think it's honestly also because now, like I said, we've transcended that. We're a lot used to having different interests and stuff and not having it be a problem. But I think I was conditioned to think that we have to have similar interests. We have to like the same things.
Right. I mean, hobbies will change and people will change, right?
Yeah.
I've heard there's people who have said, look, I've been married for 50 years and I've had 6 different marriages throughout my time because the dynamics change. You're constantly evolving. You're becoming different people.
Yeah.
To me, it's more the commitment that like, okay, if we're going to do this together and be a team and be able to work and function together as a unit to conquer life, right? Like that's what you're committing to.
You really are one of those rise and grind people.
I told you, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Yeah, we're ready to Sigma grind set. Is that the same thing?
No, it's not.
Okay, well, we're grinding.
No, we're not.
And
All
we're
right.
pounding.
Okay.
Oh, my back hurts.
Yeah? Is it because you're carrying this podcast?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I spit on my arm.
Oh, God.
I'm so sorry.
One step forward, 2 steps back with you
I'm
sometimes.
just really saliva-y right now.
Why?
I'm hungry.
I'm Pooya. Nice to meet you.
There you go. We'll get you those white tennis shoes. We'll get you some New Balance white tennis shoes with your crew socks and your shorts. We'll get you a lawnmower and you'll mow the lawn.
If you want me to mow the lawn, just say that. I don't want to wear the...
I would appreciate if you could mow the lawn. Actually, I don't mind mowing the lawn. I like being outside.
What if we get like a lawn mowing Roomba?
A Roomba? Yeah. The problem is that, we would just need to make sure we have a fence because otherwise our Roomba is off into nature mowing the lawn of nature.
Everyone else benefits from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to end up in the Mississippi River. Oh, poor lawn Roomba. Lived a good life.
Lived a good life. A full short life.
Yes. All right. I'm hungry now.
Okay.
I'd like to be done, please.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Let us know in the comments where you rank those 5 sports. I'm actually quite curious what the pals think.
But you also don't have to rank on the criteria we used. If you want to do like playing,
if you're like,
for example,
I've played all 5. These are my thoughts, or what you find more entertaining. However you want to go for it.
When I was in college, I was part of our flag football like rec team. And I remember I threw, so it was, the way that they did it was co-ed, but if a woman was involved in the play, it was like extra points or something. So we were down and I remember
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
So they put me in his court. So I was usually a wide receiver because again, if a woman was involved in the play, so if I would catch it and score, then it would be more points. So, but what they did is we ended up putting me in as quarterback because then no matter who I threw it to, it would be extra points. And I remember throwing like the game-winning touchdown. And I remember because it was not a very good I mean, it was okay. It was like far, but it was a little bit wobbly. We did not have that tight spiral.
You had a cannon on you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very athletic.
Okay.
Well, you've seen me.
I'm seeing you right now.
No, I know, but like you've seen me be athletic.
No?
Yeah, you've seen me like do things athletically, right?
We've played pickleball together.
Yeah, but like Pilates.
Yeah, but like that's different though. Like doing stuff at the gym versus like being on a pitch for like a football game or a basketball game. They're different. I
think I have like pretty good spatial awareness.
Because like for example, I have horrible like throwing strength. I can't throw to save my life, but you get me behind a ball for a cross or a like shot at football.
Yeah,
I'm top binsing that.
Yeah, because
that's gonna happen.
But that's because that's the skill you built as a child, right? So my skill I built as a child was I would play catch with my dad in the backyard with our baseball gloves, right? Like I grew up throwing things.
So that's what I'm saying. You got the cannon on.
I got the arm.
Yeah.
The arm.
Because for some example, when I picture you playing like soccer,
okay, I'm not a good soccer
You're gonna.
player.
I feel like you're gonna toe punt it. Like,
Okay,
I don't think you're gonna.
Lanky,
Yes.
which is inherently a problem. My limbs go in
Do
the
you
wrong
think you got ball
direction.
control?
No, I can't. If I need to touch something with my hands, I'm not a foot girl. I'm not going to be putting my foot up in it. I need to get my hands up in it. You know what I mean? So that's why, and even if I have to use a tool in order to achieve, it will be like a lacrosse stick, for example, right? Like I'm talking about like something I can, but it's still with my hands, not with my feet. Like I played basketball, volleyball, lacrosse. I ran track, right? Like I did those kinds of sports. I did rock climbing. Me and Taryn, BFFs. I actually have I packed it already, but I got some of my old rock climbing gear from my mom.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be my new hobby in Minnesota.
And we'll see next week if the trend continues of Liana
Only being able to talk about this.
exclusively.
Yes, which I think we're going to, I think the setup will still be the same next week.
Will still be the same
week
next
after
week.
might be a little bit of a question mark,
Yeah.
and then the week after that also might be a little bit of a question
Yeah.
mark. But we're going to figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll be here.
Well,
Social media, at Lianaism, Drag Race, B&B. Josh Wigler was our guest. Drag Race actually only has 2 more episodes left, which I'm so happy. It's like they planned it around my schedule because I can finish the Drag Race season and then move.
you're moving?
I don't know if you know this, but yeah, we're moving. Sorry.
Well, you don't have to apologize to me.
Sorry. Okay, your socials now.
At Pooyaism.
Boom. He nailed it.
Twitch.tv/Pooya.
Yep.
Talking
Appreciate you.
90 Day Fiance. And Australian Survivor is also
Yes.
finishing this week.
Okay,
So
that's good.
this
That
week
was
slash
nice
next week.
That was nice of them to do that as well.
Before I move.
No one said it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Why? Stop. We're not moving to Canada. I don't know why you're apologizing so much.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's not mock the accent, please.
Whatever. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay. Well. Kirsten, this is your cute texter about it.
I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Do I have anything else to plug? I don't think so.
No.
I think that's everything.
I'm gonna go eat beans. Quesadilla time.
All right, y'all. Take care. Have a good one.